Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now, police are investigating a shooting at a Raleigh hotel where you're looking live this morning. They have been on the scene for more than 3 hours. What we're learning about the victim, that report next.
And it's not as cold this morning as it has been. Temperatures are in the 40s heading out the door, but tomorrow morning will feel like teens. I'll show you what's bringing the change.
Today, more major economic development is coming to Wake County. The expansion announcement we're expecting that would bring hundreds of jobs to Holly Springs and would be a big economic boost to the region. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to your Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Renee Chu.
Now, I'm Chris Lovingood in for Jeff Hogan. So if you drive past Western Boulevard, if you missed it last night, we have a little treat for you this morning that would make Clark Griswold so very happy. The WRAL Tower is lit behind Elizabeth Gardner.
It's making all of us happy this morning, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And of course, this will be up through the holiday season. 3,000 lights as you're driving down Western Boulevard. 46 is our current temperature. Our wind is coming out of the southwest right now, which is a warm flow. 15 miles per hour. So it is a gusty start this morning. We'll see winds gusting this morning, 20 to 25, and through the afternoon as well. And so that's going to make it feel a little cooler than it actually is. It's 46 in Durham and Raleigh, but feeling like 40. It feels like 39 in Southern Pines and 35 in Roxborough, even though temperatures are in the 40s. That's going to be our big story going forward. Now, we have a front that comes through that's going to bring in some much colder air. We'll see 52 degrees at lunchtime. Normally, we see the warmest temperature of the day at around 3 o'clock, but it will be in the mid-40s at that point, and then we're dropping into the 30s quickly this evening. So keep that in mind. We're looking at wind chills that are going to bring us down into the teens tomorrow morning. I'll show you what it will feel like where you are. Coming up, Ken.
Hi, Elizabeth. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to follow this breaking news concerning a crash on I-40 eastbound near Benson. This is around exit 325. To give you a reference point, exit 328 is the I-95, I-40 split. We got state troopers on the scene directing traffic away from that area. If you're heading east this morning, you can take Highway 50 as an alternate route. Many of you can get off on 210 and work your way back to I-95. I'll keep you posted on that. Back here in the capital city, we're getting reports of some type of incident on Glenwood Avenue near Creedmoor Road. We're getting reports that the road is blocked partially. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know how that might affect your morning commute. If I-40, the Beltline, is part of your morning commute this morning, no delays to report whatsoever. You're getting ready to head out this morning. Tune us in on the radio 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
In this breaking news story we have stayed on top of all morning. Just before 3 o'clock, police responded to a shooting at a hotel in Raleigh. This happened at the Days Inn Hotel on South Wilmington Street. That is where WRAL's Nick Perlin has been all morning since he arrived at that scene. Nick, police are trying to find the person who was responsible for shooting at least one person here.
And Chris, that search has been going on for over 3 hours now. This shooting behind me happened on the Days Inn. This is right off of 70 on South Wilmington Street. And you can see here, still very active. A couple of police cruisers. I'm seeing about 2 scattered throughout the parking lot. And we do know that at around 2:30 this morning, a woman was shot and taken to the hospital. Now, we did hear from Raleigh police that she is expected to recover. But the main thing that we're still staying on top of right now this morning is what it led to this shooting, and of course, who is that suspected shooter? We're going to keep asking Raleigh police, and obviously they're going to continue their search this morning. Once we get new information about who that suspected shooter is, of course, we'll definitely be able to update you on that right here on WRAL. Live in Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
A Good Samaritan who stopped to help after a crash in Wake County is seriously hurt after another vehicle crashed into them. It happened at the intersection of 1010 Road and Rand Road around 8 p.m. Troopers say it started with a crash between an SUV and a pickup truck. Another driver stopped to make sure everyone was okay. That's when another pickup truck crashed and hit the Good Samaritan. The person who was hit is expected to recover.
Today, we are watching to see if any more schools experience problems with their heating systems. Several schools, in fact, were forced to dismiss early this week because of cold temperatures. Westlake Elementary in Wake County was forced to dismiss students early yesterday, and then R.N. Harris Elementary in Durham closed as well as teams worked to repair their heating system. 6 schools in Wilson County had problems this week, including one of them still having issues. A parent told WRAL her daughter sat in class at Elm City Middle School without heat for 2 days. This story is still unfolding this morning. A shooter on the run nearly 24 hours after being accused of killing United Healthcare's CEO Brian Thompson on a Manhattan sidewalk. And images of the shooter are plastered now all over New York this morning as police ask for help trying to find that person. Now, do want to warn you, what you're going to see here a bit graphic. The surveillance video captured the moment the mass shooter approached Thompson from behind and shot him with a handgun at least twice. Police believe the shooter was laying in wait with a mask and a gun suppressor. And you may see reports online today saying that there were messages written on the bullet casings, but we are waiting to see that confirmed from investigators. Police say the shooter took off through an alley, grabbed an e-bike, and then rode it into Central Park. And they believe the shooter may have then taken the subway from the Upper West Side to Midtown.
Covering Wake County, hundreds of new jobs are coming to Holly Springs. Sources tell WRAL biotech company Amgen has a big expansion planned. WRAL's Destiny Patterson joins us live from Research Triangle Park. Destiny, we're expecting to learn the specifics about this project later this morning.
The Commerce Secretary will be here at the North Carolina Biotechnology Center, but until then, officials will only say that she'll be announcing an economic development project involving Wake County and the town of Holly Springs. But at least two sources have told us that Amgen is expanding. The company develops medicine to treat cancer and heart disease. Amgen broke ground on its Holly Springs plant more than 2 years ago. Holly Springs, in particular, is attractive for biotech companies because of how close it is to the Triangle and the talent that comes from the area. Just in the last year, Fujifilm Diosynth Biotechnologies and CSL Seqirus have announced expansions there, and we expect officials to officially announce this expansion at 8:30 today. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, RTP.
We'll have a crew at this morning's news conference where we'll learn more about this project. Make sure to tune into our newscasts from 4 to 7:30 this evening on WRAL for details. This morning, state education leaders are taking a closer look at your child's learning recovery post-pandemic. Researchers will discuss trends they found from before, during, and after the pandemic. The discussions could provide more insight as to how long it will take for students to fully recover from learning disruptions. The Department of Public Instruction received more than $500,000 to research and analyze learning recovery. A particular area of concern, 7th and 8th grade reading and math.
They're going to have to drill down into why that might be happening. Is it because, we changed the math test a few years ago? Or is it because something is happening with this age group? Only a few years ago, they were learning remotely.
Today's analysis could further discussions about how to fill those funding gaps to help students fully recover. The meeting starts this morning at 9 a.m.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, a political crisis mounting in France right now. French lawmakers voted to oust the country's prime minister. Elected leaders cast a no-confidence vote yesterday, forcing the resignation of Prime Minister Michel Barnier and his cabinet. The vote was prompted by budget disputes. Barnier told lawmakers he was not afraid, but warned that removing him it would make everything more difficult. Barnier's cabinet is now expected to serve in a caretaker capacity until French President Emmanuel Macron can name new leadership. Barnier is set to formally submit his resignation tomorrow.
Today, investigators are working to learn what caused a fire that destroyed a home in Chatham County. Thankfully, no one was injured. Teams responded to that home on Lystra Road just before 5 o'clock last night for what was reported as a home explosion. A family member told WRAL a mother and daughter were home sleeping when this happened. A neighbor came and told them to wake up, and they were able to run out of the house unharmed. Right now, they are being helped by other family members in that area.
2 kindergartners are in extremely critical condition after a man shot them at a small religious school in California. Authorities say the gunman died after shooting himself. This happened around 1 yesterday at a school about an hour outside Sacramento. Investigators say the shooting happened after the man met with the principal about enrolling a student. 2 boys, ages 5 and 6, were shot. A student says she saw the shooter as she and others were running to safety.
I looked back and I saw a shadow with a gun, so I told most people to run even faster.
Investigators say the shooter has no connection to the school or the two boys he shot. Authorities believe he may have targeted the school because of its church affiliation.
Today, families in Durham can learn more about plans to move thousands of students to different schools. The redistricting plan is part of Durham Public Schools' Growing Together initiative. Essentially, the goal is to split the district into 5 regions to give equal opportunities to all students. The next stage of the plan will affect families with students in middle and high schools. A nonprofit called Empowered Parents and Community is hosting tonight's listening session. That's from 6 to 8 at People's Solidarity Hub on Chapel Hill Road.
A driver in Durham honked at another car for driving slow and was shot at. What we know about the road rage situation after a passenger was grazed by a bullet.
And crypto just keeps on climbing. Bitcoin topped $100,000 for the first time. What's propping up the price of this virtual currency? We'll dive in.
And it's a milder start this morning with temperatures above freezing, but look at what we're in for tomorrow. Wind chills in the morning in the teens. I'll show you what it will feel like where you are.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. We're so excited about the tower lighting from last night, and all the towers look beautiful this morning. We have Durham here, the Lucky Strike Tower, where it's 46 degrees this morning. Of course, here, right in our backyard in Raleigh, 46. And in Rocky Mount, it's 42 this morning. Our skies are clear. It is a little breezy, and you'll notice these temperatures are much warmer than they were the last several mornings when we started off in the 20s. Town by town, we're seeing lots of temperatures in the 40s from Tarboro to Rocky Mount, from Goldsboro to Southern Pines. It is 37 in Lewisburg. It's also a little breezy out there, so it does feel like 30s in most places. If you're looking for a time to get outside to exercise, look at lunchtime. We'll see 52 degrees this evening. If you're waiting until 5 or 6 o'clock, temperatures drop into the 30s quickly.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We continue to stay on top of that breaking news as a result of this crash right here on I-40 eastbound near Benson Road, near Woodall Dairy Road. This is exit 325. Just before we came back from break, we got reports that the right lane is now closed. Not all lanes. We'll update that shortly, but just know that the one lane has reopened there on I-40 eastbound this morning near Benson Road. State troopers are on the scene trying to direct traffic away from that. We're working to get some more information about it and let you know how it will continue to affect your morning commute. But definitely Highway 50 or exit 210 or Highway 210 might be alternate routes for you. Back here in the Triangle and surrounding communities, no major incidents to report, which is good news. You're getting ready to head out. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
The search is on for a person who fired at a car in Durham. A bullet grazed a person in that car. This happened Tuesday night on South Mineral Springs Road near NC 98. Durham County deputies say this is a suspected case of road rage. A driver says they honked their horn at someone who was driving slowly, and the other driver shot at them for it. A passenger in the car was grazed by a bullet, but did not need to go to the hospital. Deputies have not made an arrest.
Today, jurors may give their verdict in the manslaughter trial of a Camp Lejeune Marine veteran charged with killing a man on a New York subway. Today will be their third day of deliberations. Yesterday, they asked to take another look at video captured by police body cameras on the subway car. Jordan Neely, a man who was homeless, died as Penny held him in a chokehold for 6 minutes. Prosecutors say Penny knew he could kill Neely and he ignored the signs to stop. The defense argues Neely died because of a combination of factors, including drug use.
The value of Bitcoin is soaring since Donald Trump won the election. It is now worth more than $100,000 for the first time. That's up more than $30,000 from its value just before Election Day. The latest surge comes as Trump's transition team is considering appointing a crypto czar to the administration. Trump campaigned on bringing a more favorable regulatory approach to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
The woman who snuck onto a Delta flight from New York to Paris is set to make her first court appearance today. The 57-year-old Russian woman was arrested yesterday and returned to the United States. 2 previous attempts to send her back to the U.S. were abandoned. Last week, investigators say she hid in an airplane bathroom and was able to get past multiple TSA checkpoints.
In a game that ended around 11:30 last night, Duke basketball picked up its biggest win of the season. The Blue Devils beat number 2 Auburn in Cameron Indoor 84-78. Freshman Isaiah Evans was the hero of the first half. He scored a career-high 18 points, shooting 6 of 8 from 3. The 9th-ranked Blue Devils will play at Louisville on Sunday.
Meanwhile, the Wolfpack lost 63-59 to the Texas Longhorns. Dontrez Styles led the way with 17 points off the bench, and the Wolfpack play again on Saturday. They'll play Florida State at the Lenovo Center. And in Chapel Hill, it was a Sweet 16 rematch with the same result. Number 20 UNC lost to number 10 Alabama, 94-79. The Tar Heels struggled shooting from the outside. They hit just 17% of their threes. UNC hosts Georgia Tech on Saturday to start ACC play.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Light the tower! It was a tower lighting triple play. Thank you to everyone who came out to help us ring in the holiday season with our annual WRAL tower lighting. Our team lit the towers last night at Durham's American Tobacco Campus, Rocky Mount Mills, and right here in Raleigh at our studio on Western Boulevard. This is the 66th year of the annual tradition at WRAL. Our TV tower in Raleigh will remain lit through New Year's Eve.
And you probably, maybe missed seeing the lighting yesterday. Don't worry, you can see it through the winter as we have it even right now. It's turned on at behind Elizabeth Gardner, one of the different squares, the top right one there, and it looks so beautiful and bright this morning.
Yeah, our Brady Branch cameras are including the tower here. I have another graphic that has all 3 of them we looked at just a few minutes ago, but we got to see what else is happening in the viewing area as well. Fayetteville's looking mostly clear this morning, so as Apex looking pretty with their holiday decorations. Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And of course, we're excited to have our 3 towers lit all the way through the holiday season. We'll get a good chance to take a look at those. It is mild this morning. We're ahead of a front. We have a southwesterly flow. So that's a warm flow coming in. We're starting in the 40s this morning. We'll end up with a temperature of around 52 at lunchtime. But the cold front comes through, and behind it, we see colder air. Look at the snow that's falling in West Virginia. And we had some lightning with that. That's thunder snow. All of us meteorologists get really excited about that. That's a phenomenon that doesn't happen very often. You know how hard it rains in a thunderstorm? Well, that's what's going on there. It is snowing very hard in a snow thunderstorm. Really neat stuff. We are tracking this next Arctic blast that will come in late today and tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll see wind chills in the teens, but then we do turn warmer again next week. Here's that front coming through. We'll follow it here on Futurecast. We're not going to see rain with the front coming through, but the mountains of North Carolina and certainly up the Appalachians will see some snow out of that. Today will be breezy, winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour through the day, and then eventually starting to taper off a little bit this evening. We turn much colder again tonight. 40s now, 20s this time tomorrow, 22 in Durham and Lewisburg, 23 degrees in Wilson. We had South 22 in Southern Pines, 24 in Irwin and in Clinton for our temperature tomorrow morning. But take a look at the wind chill forecast, because this is what it will feel like. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., it's going to feel like 14 in Raleigh, at 16 in Fayetteville, -3 in Boone, and it doesn't get much better Saturday morning. If you're an early riser on Saturday, it'll feel like 22 in Raleigh and 25 in Fayetteville. So bitterly cold temperatures coming. We're going to switch gears completely for next week. We'll see a southerly flow and a front that comes in that brings us rain. There's Monday. Monday looks fairly wet for us. A few light showers on Tuesday. There's Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening. Wednesday looks like we could see the heaviest rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms with a big warm up that is headed our way. How much rain? Much needed, inch to an inch and a half across our viewing area. So we definitely need that rain. Look at the temperatures that go along with it. 64 on Monday, 69 Tuesday, and 63 on Wednesday. Coming up, we're going to get into a little more detail about the hour-by-hour wind chills that we'll see starting tomorrow. Ken?
Elizabeth, we're staying on top of breaking news here in the WRAL Traffic Center because of this crash on I-40 eastbound near Benson this morning. This is around Woodall Dairy Road, just prior to exit 325. We're getting reports that a right lane is closed. This involves several vehicles. We're working with the state troopers to get more information. Of course, Highway 50 is a nice alternate route for you this morning. I'll continue to keep an eye on that. But back here in the Triangle and surrounding communities, we're monitoring this serious crash on Millbrook Road in the westbound lane near Green Road. We're not seeing any major problems in that area, but just thought you should know about it just to be on the safe side. We just have a disabled vehicle right now on Highway 64 near Arundel and Zebulon. But in terms of coming into the capital city this morning, virtually no delays to report on any of our major roadways coming in, which is really good news. You're getting ready to head out this morning. You got a couple of options to listen to us, 99.3 FM in Raleigh and 96.5 FM in Durham.
Ken, thanks. A malnourished dog is on his way to a new home after his previous owner left him tied up in the cold. How a rescue organization stepped in to bring the dog to safety.
Plus, a town is suing Duke Energy over the company's reliance on fossil fuels. Why Carborough claims the energy provider is responsible for millions of dollars in damages.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Spotify's annual Wrapped feature has all your friends showing off who they've been listening to all year.
Ken Smith here now with What's Trending. Ken.
Some might surprise you, actually. Spotify's data shows Taylor Swift, no surprise, once again, the most streamed artist in the U.S. this year. Others in the top 5 were Drake, country artists Zach Bryan and Morgan Wallen, and this one surprised me, Kanye West. The top streamed song was Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. What about you guys?
Well, I just did mine. We did it during the break. Yeah. I played 655 songs this year, and my number 1 most played song is Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead. It's a pretty cool song.
So Taylor Swift was my most played artist, but a big reason for that is my 10-year-old has become a Swiftie. So we listened to a lot of Tay-Tay this year.
Understandably so. Listen, Flavor Flav posted this video of the Rockefeller tree lighting last night, but the night wasn't all fun for him. In a now deleted post to X, the rapper claims security kicked him out of the Backstreet Boys dressing room before the show. What a scandal.
Ooh.
Yeah, not sure what's behind that, but come on, Flavor Flav, he should be welcome everywhere.
Yeah, I know. And he was all over NBC's Olympic coverage, right?
Oh, yeah, he was so fun to watch, right? So hopefully there's not, any beef there.
Yeah, he's going to popularity. Hope everything's okay with him.
Exactly.
Go Triangle has unveiled 2 specially wrapped buses promoting the 2029 World University Games. Thousands of athletes are expected to compete in 18 sports. These buses will take them to and from the events in the Triangle and the Triad. The games are expected to draw 600,000 spectators and 20,000 volunteers.
A woman is hurt after a shooting that happened just before 3 o'clock at a Raleigh hotel this morning. The WRAL breaking news tracker is there as police try to find the person responsible.
It's warmer today, but a bit misleading. The warmest temperature will actually happen around lunchtime. As we get through the afternoon, temperatures will be dropping quickly and it will be breezy. We'll take a look at the wind chills coming up.
Today, we'll learn more about how the state schools are recovering from pandemic learning loss, what new data is expected to reveal about the effort to catch up.